Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier, and it is my mission to simplify YouTube so you and I can grow together. Welcome, everyone, to our normal weekly live stream. For those of you who may be new to the live stream, we do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We hang out for an hour, talk YouTube, answer any questions that you might have. So if you do have questions throughout the live stream, make sure that you tag at Creator Fundamentals and leave your questions in the chat. We will do our best to get to all of those. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me once again. Got a few different things to talk about. I saw somebody mention it in the chat. I actually just got back from my first speaking opportunity down in Orlando, Florida, so we can talk about that a little bit. If you want to see a clip or two from that speaking opportunity, you can follow me on Instagram at Creator Fundamentals on Instagram. I posted a short clip there from the VidFest stage, so definitely check that out and follow me over on Instagram if you have not yet done so. But we got some people in the chat. We're going to jump in there and say hello to everybody, and then we'll talk about some things. We got Video Zeus out there. Good to see you, Construction Cronies. Who else we have? Let's see. Somebody got deleted there. Senpei Girl, Inverted Gamer in the chat as well. Soul Moons Rising, thank you so much for being a channel member, as well as Construction Cronies. SNS Smithing. Let's see. Aaron Jameson. Ridge Mallory, 30-day reviews. Historian Wannabe. I really need to move this display farther down because it's too small to read. All right, who else we got in there? We have Sango152. I think I covered that. Good to see everybody. Mohammed Shah in there as well. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out in the live stream. If you have any questions, be sure to tag at Creator Fundamentals so I don't miss them. But yeah, crazy world we're living in right now. We're going to talk about, you know, what's obviously in the news just about around the world a little bit and how that kind of affects us as creators. Also want to talk about, like I said, that opportunity to go down and speak to a crowd, kind of like a live stream, but people actually out there in front of me from the stage, which is a really cool experience. Got an opportunity to hang out with some of the speakers from People of Video, which was that promo that you just saw. I am hosting a conference in May called People of Video. You can get tickets at peopleofvideo.com. And if you are interested in going, I'm actually going to put, let's see, put that one there, slash, what was that one? Let's see here. Oh, that's right. We're going to put out one today. The Keep Calm promo. That'll save you a bunch of money on a ticket if you want to come hang out with us in Albany, New York, along with myself, Nick Nimmin, Brian G. Johnson, Roberto Blake, Tim Schmoyer. The list goes on and on. A bunch of amazing content creators and video experts who are all going to be in that one-room event for 2 days to share all their knowledge with you. A lot of stuff they can't cover on their channels. They will be able to share with you in person, so definitely come hang out with us. Stuart Video out there as well. Good to see you. History Treehouse. Good to see you as well. See a couple tags. What sort of tips do you have for builder channels, blacksmithing, welding, and other similar topics? I think anytime you're doing any type of craft, you really do have the opportunity to create searchable content. How-to content, searchable content, content that teaches people things by way of answering their questions and solving their problems is always going to be a powerful way to grow your channel on YouTube. So if you are dealing with that, if you're showing people how you create things, consider breaking that particular niche or topic down to its most simplest parts, like the different tools you use, the different processes that you use, what the terminology is. Make separate videos on each of those and really try to reach people just as they're entering that particular niche or category. And you are going to be that authority that they learn from right from the beginning of their experience in that particular hobby or craft. and you'll be with them through their entire journey. So it's a really strong way to be able to not only direct your content at the biggest part of that audience, because obviously the novice in any given niche or category is going to be the biggest pool of people. Some of them will continue to move on and hone their skills. Others will move on. But if you're at that front door and you're sharing that educational content, then you're the person that they turn to when they're looking for more content, trying to learn how to do something new. And it can be a really powerful way to grow your channel and build an audience. All right. Good to see everybody out there. I see a couple tags. The POV vid at the start of the stream. Okay, here. Video Zeus did that promo. Absolutely. Video Zeus, aka Brian, is also the editor for Creator Fundamentals. So thank you so much for doing that, and thank you for being here. Let's see what else we got out there. I think I saw. Just working on my thumbnail for my next video. It's already uploaded and ready to publish. Just trying to figure out when to publish it. Fantastic. Let's see what else we have. Our Epic RV Adventure. Hello, everyone. This is our first time in your live stream. Welcome to the live stream. It is absolutely great to have you. I love that you have the RV channel as well. I too have a outdoors channel that we cover some RV stuff on called The Average Dan. My brother also has an outdoor channel called This Life Outdoors. And probably most of this audience doesn't know that I have a page and group on Facebook called We Love RV Camping, which is in the process of building an RV community. So welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. And if you have any questions about YouTube, this is definitely the place to ask them for the next hour. Just tag at Creator Fundamentals, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. So, the world is kind of going crazy right now with the coronavirus, which will probably get this video hidden. From what I've heard, anybody who mentions coronavirus in any of their content is having problems. But as for us as creators, it's getting kind of crazy because people are like events and things are getting canceled, and you know, even whatever your feelings are on it, whether you think that the media's blown it out of proportion or not, the reality is once people start to cancel things and block travel and do all this craziness, it really starts to impact a bunch of people in a negative way. I mean, we're coming up on prime spring break season. There's going to be all kinds of traveling, or would normally be traveling, going on in the United States here. It'll be interesting to see how that gets impacted. There's been a number of conferences and events, public events, that have been canceled, which on the surface you may be like, yeah, it's you know, probably a good thing to cancel this event or that event. But when you really think about how much time, effort, and money goes into planning an event, it's not like nothing gets spent until the day of the event. There is a ton of money and time and effort that gets spent to make sure that an event happens. I know, working on People of Video, that is no small task. There are a million little details that you have to work out, things you have to pay for in advance, things you don't get, you'll never see the money for, whether you have the event or not. Just even selling tickets. Usually ticket sales are done through a third party that takes a fee for every ticket. If you get into the process of, you know, refunding a ticket or doing something like that, it's not like you get the fee back. So all kinds of these things go in. We saw, I think it was down in Texas or some huge conference down there. There was something in the news where people were upset that they weren't refunding tickets, which was clearly in their terms of service, but that's going to be a hairy situation for them to kind of work through, because unfortunately this whole deal is kind of an act of God, or whatever you want to call it, a act of whomever, act of authority, government official, those kind of things, in blocking and canceling events in certain cities. So it is kind of craziness out there. We're just going to have to wait and see how it unfolds. People of Video, which is scheduled in May, is still going on as scheduled. We'll continue to monitor the situation, see what changes in the interim. But I know that there have been like events, schools. Our governor just shut down all of the colleges in New York until the end of the semester, so people have to attend school remotely. It's kind of crazy, but we'll see how all that goes, and what it looks like here in a month to, you know, see what spring is going to look like here in the U.S. Any updates for the volunteer picks? So I think, Stuart, in terms of volunteers, if you volunteered, if you're willing, I don't think we currently have too many volunteers. So as soon as we'll get somebody to reach out to you and finalize the details, but most of the volunteers are going to have a spot. So I know there was some people who had originally volunteered and then backed out. And so, yeah, we'll get that all clarified here in the near future. And we'll reach out to you to give you an idea of what the whole volunteer process is going to look like at People of Video. And it'll be in Vegas, just canceled. Yeah, I just saw that cancellation go out. So a lot of places are canceling. Any issues doing premieres on your videos? I haven't had a lot of success with premieres. I personally feel like premieres are most effective for channels that have massive following, so that are really going to drive a ton of views to their channel to that video by doing the premiere. You know, depending on your audience, it may or may not. You can certainly test it on your channel and see how people respond. But it also kind of looks weird. The last time I did a premiere, the way the video performed after the premiere seemed really different than other videos that I had put out through the normal process. I would say the best thing you can do is test one on your channel and your audience and see how that goes. All right. Hello, Creative Fundamentals. I'm inspired to your channel. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out on the live stream. Is that Popends TV? DIY Semi, hello to you. Sarah Dawn out there as well. Black Lights, good to see everybody. Aaron's out there. Let's see, Gamer 24/7 all day. So when I go to record my gaming videos on my computer, I record in OBS, but when I go back to watch them, they're blurry and are laggy. The audio, however, is fine in the videos. Blurry and laggy. I mean, at the time that you're recording a video in OBS, you should be able to see exactly what that's picking up. I'm not really sure. In your case, I guess we would have to understand what game that you are capturing. Depending on the game, there are some games that do not play well with OBS. I believe like Fortnite is one of them. So rather than trying to capture the window that Fortnite plays in, you may want to try to capture the display that you have Fortnite up on. But yeah, it gets kind of tricky with certain games. But I haven't heard the blurry thing. I'm not really sure how anything would be blurry and laggy unless your computer can't handle playing the game and running OBS at the same time. All right, here. Carrie Ann Wright, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Sohela's Simple Cuisine, good to see you as well. Thanks for coming and hanging out. And let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, we got all that. 51 days and counting till People of Video. Can't wait. It's going to be an awesome time. I can't wait either. I'm excited for it. Just want to make sure all this funny business stays out of our way, so that we can have a good positive experience here in Albany, New York. Construction Crony says, I use Premieres for bigger productions only, and it works great. I get a lot of shares. Burning, think it would be different for everyone. Just try it out and see. Yeah. Always, you know, no matter what anybody tells you, any advice that anybody gives you, it's just guidance. Never take anything as gospel, as it's the only way to do stuff. You're always best to collect information and then test yourself and see what actually works for you and your channel. Ridge Mallory, is there a button in my settings on my studio that makes it so my videos will not be shared or suggested to other YouTube people? Shared or suggested, I mean, you could set a video as unlisted. If you set it as unlisted, it's not going to be shared or suggested to people. How does affected copyrighted music on your monetization? If you are in the habit of using copyrighted music, even music that they don't strike you for, there are certain copyright owners that won't take your video down, but they may request any monetization, or it may get identified as copyrighted content. I have seen channels that have not received strikes but have been denied monetization because of a repeated pattern of using copyrighted music for which they did not have permission to use. So that is definitely something you want to keep track of. Fortunately, in the case of the channel that I worked with, we were able to identify the copyrighted music. We removed the offending videos, and we were able to get them approved 30 days later when they reapplied. So it can absolutely affect your ability to get monetized. It's something that you should be aware of. SNS Smithing, what's a good percentage of watch time? Like, what realistic to shoot for? I mean, it's probably different. Obviously, you always want to shoot for higher numbers than you were getting before. Personally, I mean, if a video for me on my channel comes out and it's pushing 60%, it's doing all right. That doesn't necessarily mean that video is going to, take off. But 60% is on the higher side. Honestly, most of them come out between 50 and 55%. And then every once in a while, one will come out lower than that. But I think the biggest thing you can do, don't get caught up in any one statistic as the be-all, end-all to identify what videos are going to be successful and what videos aren't, because it just doesn't work that way. You can have videos that have really high click-through rate, but nobody's watching, or you can have videos with like really low click-through rate and, lower average view duration, but are being fed to everybody. So the more video does get shared to people, the lower the numbers tend to trend. So it's just a matter of trying to improve upon your numbers and just continue to make better content and then release them into the wild and see which way they run. Construction cronies, I lost my live streaming for 5 months last year for copyrighted music. In my stream, no strikes, but it's just not good. Yeah, that's something I have to be careful of, because the people of video promo that I ran, the music in that has to constantly be identified as or as me having a permission to use the copyright. And for this will be the third live stream in a row that I've used that video, and the last two got demonetized because of the music in that video. So gonna have to continue to do that. And I wish there was just a way to identify it across the channel, but each time I show the promo, I get dinged. I use MusicBed on my channel. You mentioned last week you helped a person that had license to use music but couldn't monetize. Do you think MusicBed is I don't know what MusicBed is. If MusicBed is a paid service and you're getting permission to use copyrighted content, that's different than just using somebody else's copyrighted music. Like, I use Soundstripe for my music, and that's a paid service that you are already getting permission to use. How long does it take? How long does it take for YouTube to review a counter notification? One of our videographers issued a copyright strike as retaliation, even though he signed a contract. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know how long it's going to take. So if he struck you and you submitted a counterclaim, depending on how it's being handled, in an automated fashion, I've had them come back, the next day as approved, but I don't know what the situation is going to look like if you have somebody who's maliciously trying to hit you with a copyright strike. I upload trailers to start off getting more views, but recently my views dropped drastically. What might be the problem? I upload trailers. You mean like movie trailers? You have to give me more information on what the trailers are. Are they trailers that you've created? Are they other people's content? Let me know in the chat exactly what you mean by trailers. I'm good. Got my tea and knitting and the Creator Fundamentals live stream. Thank you so much, Sarah, for coming and hanging out with us. Beats are I use Magic Studio, works great for me. I really need to move this down. I have my monitor stacked here, and that's just hurts my eyes to look up there. All right, there we go. Let's just, okay. I'm going to put this on Old Blind Man. Oh, that's much better. Look at that. All right. How much is Sound Stripe? You can actually, here, where's that at? Give me 1 second here. Golly. I think I know it, but I'm going to double check. Where are you at, brah? And we're scrolling. Hang on 1 second. It's in here. I know it's in here somewhere. There it is. You can check out Soundstripe and give it a try there if you want to check out their service and pricing and all that. All right. Fully Involved Media Group. The POV hats are amazing. Awesome. Historian Wannabe. Have good luck with the channels. Have a good night. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Zugamu, I did not actually feel the earthquake, but one of the guys that works for me at my day job actually lives right near where the earthquake happened. So I just heard people talking about it. I did not feel it. Dan, have you heard of these crazy hacker issues lately? I've certainly heard of channels that have been compromised due to hacking. And one of the ways that they've been doing it is to by sending people what appear to be offers of sponsorship with links for them to check out their product or service. And then when you click the link, you basically get hacked and they steal your YouTube channel, they take over your YouTube channel, and they delete all your videos. So it's very important that you do not click links and emails from somebody you don't know, even if they are appearing to be a sponsorship deal, even if it looks to be an embedded Google Doc. Don't click links and emails from people that you don't have an existing relationship with. And just to be on the safe side, even people who look like somebody you know, be very cautious about clicking anything in an email. A lot of times you can hover over links, and in the lower left-hand corner of your browser, it'll actually show you the underlying URL, because in the email itself, you can basically put any words you want. So you can make it look like, Disney.com, but when you hover over it, you'll see that URL is actually pointing to some nefarious website. So you really need to be diligent. Don't open, don't go, oh my God, a sponsorship deal, and start clicking on links, because that can totally get you hosed. There have been some pretty big channels that I'm aware of that have been compromised and had their content affected as a result of the hackers. So definitely want to be aware of that and try to avoid that. Yeah, a lot of people use short links, like Brandley with the link that I just posted is a short link, a custom short link with my dlinks.cc. But you always need to you need to make sure when they're an abbreviated link that you know where they are redirecting to. That is definitely something. So if you're getting a link from somebody that you don't know to be a trusted source, you really need to be careful before you click on anything. That's right. South Glens Falls, which is north of Albany, New York. There was an earthquake this morning. All right. S&F Smithing, not my problem. Personally, just noticed over time, why do some creators get in trouble for swearing and others don't, even if it's the same content? Well, first of all, two different pieces of content are never the same content. Context matters when it comes to swearing. Just because you swear on a video does not necessarily mean that it is going to negatively impact your video. It has a lot to do with frequency, whether you're doing it right off the bat when a video first starts, the type of swearing that you're doing, you know. Obviously, there are a variety of words that have different levels of severity in terms of appropriateness on your live stream. When you think, think about like primetime TV, some of the words that they will say, some of the words that they would never say. And there is, basically a range of where that comes into play. But, simply swearing in a video, without it being just absolutely egregious and frequent and rampant throughout the entire video, is not necessarily going to, negatively impact the entire video's success. All right. How to control CTR. CTR is click-through rate. That is based on the number of impressions that your thumbnail receives, how many times what percentage of the time people are choosing to click that thumbnail. So obviously you want to affect click-through rate by creating better thumbnails that entice people to watch your video. When you're making a thumbnail, it's important to understand that you are not just simply trying to put a pretty picture or reiterate the title of your video. You want to create some type of emotion, some type of cliffhanger, something that goes, oh, I wonder what that's all about. You need to think in those terms, that you're not just simply painting a picture of what's in your video, but creating suspense or intrigue or some type of emotion, whether it's, I can't believe he said that, or I can't believe he's implying that. Let me watch the video and make sure, whether he's stupid or smart or all these different things. So you really just need to understand that the better job you do of piquing somebody's curiosity or creating some other emotional response is going to help you raise your CTR. And you can also, it's easy to look at something from your personal perspective and think that, yeah, that would be successful. The best thing that you can do, though, is A/B test. If you put out a thumbnail with your video, and you can use something like TubeBuddy to actually A/B test your thumbnails. And for those of you who don't know what A/B testing is, it's basically where you make multiple versions of your thumbnail and then you rotate them back and forth on that video. And there are a feature on TubeBuddy with the link that I just put in there, try TubeBuddy.today to try the TubeBuddy plugin. They actually have A/B testing with their Legend package, and it allows you to make two versions of a thumbnail, select your video, put the second version in, and then every day it'll rotate the thumbnails, and then it will track statistics for each thumbnail separately. So that way you can say, okay, well, this thumbnail got 5.6% click-through rate. This one got 7.2. This must be the one that is, driving more. And they go much more in depth than that. It shows you views and impressions and click-through rate and total watch time per impression. It breaks down all these different statistics for each version of your thumbnail, so you can make an educated decision about whether or not, or which thumbnail to use. And it also has this thing where it allows you to pick a set number of days to run it, or you can allow it to run until it is statistically significant, I think is how they phrase it, where they will determine, I think it's like higher than 95%, something like that, or 98%, which thumbnail is the proven choice and that it is going to be better for that channel, that thumbnail in the long run. So that is try TubeBuddy.today if you haven't tried that out. But that A/B testing is a great way to raise your click-through rate. Blacklights, what is a good CTR? Better than the ones that you've had before. CTR across different channels, there's no point or nor relevance in trying to compare click-through rate across niches and topics. What you really want to do is compare what you're doing to other videos and continually try to improve against yourself. My most successful videos are not my highest click-through rate videos. because as videos become more successful, they get shown to a wider array of people. And just by nature of that increased pool of people, a lower percentage click through. YouTube, I would imagine, has different criteria that they don't share with us in terms of what a successful click-through rate looks for. And I think YouTube is constantly trying to deliver your videos to certain pools of people to see how they respond. And there's some threshold that they, or calculation that they use to determine whether that's a good group of people to show your content. So it's not as clear-cut as saying, oh, well, 9.2 is a good click-through rate, but 8.5 is not. It doesn't really work that way. So you really just want to kind of try to improve upon it. Try to get, at the end of the day, watch time is still king. You're trying to get people to watch videos as long as possible. And you just need to apply every different method you can, including trying to tweak your thumbnails to get that click-through rate as high as possible. TubeBuddy, a monthly subscription, yearly or one-time payment type thing. So you can try TubeBuddy.today will allow you to sign up for the free version. The A/B testing is part of their Legend package. Legend is actually a monthly fee. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but that's their top tier service. But that A/B testing can really be powerful if that's something that you want to get into in terms of trying to tweak your thumbnails. And sometime down the road in the future, YouTube, I think right now is like beta testing, or maybe even earlier than that, some form to allow A/B testing built into YouTube. I just have no idea when and if that'll ever see mass release to everybody who does that. I had CTR in some of my videos go above 25%. Yeah, it really depends. And it's also a time thing. If you've had a video that's out for, a day versus something that's out for 3 years, that can kind of jump all over the place. And you can have the same video and the same thumbnail, jump between, it can be 3.3 one day and 11.5 the next day. So there's all kinds of variables out there. In terms of trying to understand exactly where you want that number to be. I was offered a lifetime of Pro for $99 the other day. Yeah, so they do occasionally have promos out on the Pro level. If you do see those lifetime value ones, I would definitely encourage you to jump on them. They are a great value, and you'll pay one time and then you have that particular level of service until you choose to upgrade. Yeah, we have had in the past, and I'll have to talk to TubeBuddy, see if we can get some of those to give away or set you guys up with them in the future. But every once in a while we do some promos to get those lifetime licenses. All right, let's see. Did I miss? I think I got that. Notice. Just scrolling up real quick. Deal flow. How much is Soundstripe? I gave you a link for that. Covered that. I think I covered that. All right, cool. Roger Wakefield is in the house. Good to see you, sir. Welcome to the live stream. ... from Roger. All right, here. Have to go. Thank you. Hoping to catch another one of your live streams. Enjoyed it and learned a few things. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us this evening, our epic RV adventure. We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so definitely come back and hang out with us. Plus, if you have any questions, there's like 350 videos on Creator Fundamentals. Feel free to binge watch them. Have a good night. All right. My next video, plus several others waiting to be edited, were shot last fall. The topics are basically evergreen. Would that footage be considered old at this point? Old in what sense? If you have evergreen topics, I don't think when you recorded the content really matters all that much. As long as it's relevant, it's not associated with some news event or trending topic that's no longer relevant, I would say run with it. I mean, you think about people who use B-roll and there's no consideration made of when that B-roll was actually recorded. Construction Crony says, Roger Wakefield is in the house. For those of you who don't know who Roger Wakefield is, he is a marketing mastermind. You can find him on LinkedIn, on YouTube. But he is proof that you can take any topic and make it interesting and grow an audience here on YouTube with it. He is the expert plumber. I still find it weird that within the new YouTube studio interface that you can't jump to somebody's channel when you click on the three dots. I don't know why they've gone and done that.
Hello.
Awesome. All right. Oh, I've seen people have a large variety of different types of content on the same channel and other make multiple channels. What way would you think be a benefit and why? Having a channel that is focused on a topic, as focused as possible, is usually the better way to go in terms of your ability to grow. When somebody comes and subscribes to your channel, they subscribe with an expectation of a certain type of content. So the more you're providing that specific type of content to them on future videos, the more likely your subscribers are to watch those videos. Also, YouTube becomes familiar with exactly what type of content that you are creating and what type of viewer is interested in that topic. If you have content that's all over the place, it's really difficult for YouTube to figure out who your audience is. But if you're constantly making plumbing videos, for example, people who are learning how to fix things, then YouTube can very clearly hone in on the perfect audience for you, and then they can continue to deliver your content to those viewers who, are obviously interested in that particular topic. The more that they're able to do that, obviously, the more benefit it's going to have for your channel, because they will continue to suggest and share your traffic or your content with that audience. And that audience will continue to respond because it's the type of content that they're looking for. So there are channels out there that have variety. They tend to take longer to grow because it's difficult to understand what kind of person wants to watch your topic or your particular videos when your topics are all over the place. Right. Tips for Tubers is in the house. Welcome to the live stream. That's my brother Rich, who's sharing his experience on growing his other channel, This Life Outdoors, on his Tips for Tubers channel. So if you're looking for another channel that can share with you real world experiences of what works and doesn't work on YouTube, you should definitely check out my brother Rich over at Tips for Tubers. All right. Scrolling. All right. What do we got? Zugamugu says, well, anyways, I'm sure I am safe from COPPA, as I doubt earthquakes and other natural disasters aren't kid-friendly. Doesn't it feel like COPPA is just like a distant memory? I have to control myself to not jump up on my desk and do an I told you so dance, because there were so many people losing their minds over COPPA. And I think I made like 6 videos in a row telling people to chill out because it wasn't as bad as everybody was making it sound. And there were people who were putting out just absolutely panic and pandemonium videos, kind of like what we're seeing now with the coronavirus. But it's just funny how things work out. Obviously, the coronavirus is a lot more serious than COPPA, but It's amazing how quickly people like to gather together to freak out. All right. I'm one of those guys who has been general construction for 26 months now. I'm understanding what I need to niche into even further, and I'm growing really well. Awesome. All right, we got about 20 minutes left this evening. If you guys have questions, definitely tag at Creator Fundamentals. And yeah, here, let's do this real quick while we can for anybody who hopped in the stream. For those of you guys who are new to the live stream or new to this channel, for one, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. If you're looking for content that can help you simplify YouTube, definitely consider clicking that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you'll be alerted to these live streams when we have them, which of course is every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. I am also the founder of People of Video, which is a in-person conference for online video creators. We have an amazing lineup of speakers that are coming to town here in Albany, New York to share their knowledge in a very intimate setting. We'll be a little bit over 100 people, and it's a great opportunity to really be able to mingle and share that experience of interacting with other like-minded creators. But don't take my word for it. Check out this promo video because Video Zeus did an awesome job on it, and it gets me excited about the event every time I watch it. Who's excited? I'm excited. Can't wait for People of Video coming up in May, and I'd love to see you guys there. Thank you so much, Roger. Yeah, I love that video too. I think Brian did an awesome job on that video, and can't wait to get everybody in town. Beats of the Heart, Lyrics of the Soul. Do you ever do channel reviews? You know, I used to do channel reviews here on the live streams. I don't do them anymore for a variety of different reasons. I used to do live streams at 9 o'clock to midnight, and because I have a full-time career outside of YouTube, at least for now, that was just way too close to heading down the path of burnout. So some of the changes that I made to be able to still do the live streams and share information with creators in this setting was to shorten the live streams, start them at 8, do 8 to 9, and then just do Q&A. So while it was cool that we were able to do the channel reviews and some people took the advice, there were an awful lot of people who would fill the live streams just to hear their name mentioned on the live stream and see their channels on the screen. But then they would they'd come back to future live streams and ask for the same thing and never actually implement any of the changes. But if you do need somebody to work with one-on-one, you can go to contactdan.com and set up a call with me. And, you know, we can see whether or not consulting might be something that you're interested in. You know, I actually just set up a new website or a new redirect, which is currierandI.com. That actually leads to my calendar and the services that I provide. So if anybody's ever looking for like one-on-one consulting to actually break down your channel and do that type of work, I can definitely help you out with that. You can just go there, pick out something, schedule a time, and we can, you know, look at your particular channel and do that kind of thing. So if that is something that you want, certainly here to help you. All right. Construction cronies. Oh my God, my son just walked for the first time right now. Just me and him watching Dan. Woohoo! Congratulations on that. It might have been it could have been the live stream. Just saying. He saw the promo video, and he's like, I got to get closer to that. Congrats on that, Chris. Awesome. All right. Cool setup. Thank you so much, Muhammad. If you're talking to me. Right. The one thing I do need to change at some point is the fact that my camera's over here and my screen's over here, because I spend most of my time trying to read the chat and I'm not quite looking at the camera. But it's kind of hard because I'm live streaming with a DSLR and I have two very large monitors. I have two 32-inch monitors that are stacked right on top of each other, and I'm not sure how I would incorporate those with the camera. We have to figure it out. All right. Thank you so much for that, Roger. I appreciate it. All right. He's walking. The little dude is walking around. It's awesome. Yeah, that is always fun. Now you got to be careful, because if he's anything like my kids, they went from walking to running like instantly. They could barely stand up on their 2 feet, and they would just run and face plant into something. So be careful on that. Yeah, Roger, you know, I actually considered that. And I'm just curious because the monitors are as big as they are. I'll have to see if there's enough. I don't know if there's enough room, but that makes me curious if I can space them enough. As I recall, there might be just enough room. I don't know. We'll have to see. That's what I'm going to be doing after this live stream. I'm going to be, if I can raise my top monitor enough to move the camera over, that would be an interesting setup. Mohammed Shah, Photoshop make thumbnail. I actually use software called GIMP, which is a free software. You could just do a search for GIMP and download that. Very similar to Photoshop, but it's what I've been using. So I've always stuck with it. I actually have the full Adobe suite. But I still use the free GIMP to do my thumbnails. All right. Is it terrible that whenever somebody types POV, I'm thinking point of view? That's a very common use of POV, so I don't blame you there. But in this case, it's people of video. Holy cow, 232s. Yikes, I had to downscale to 28. Just the right size. Yeah, and I actually did. Here's a little tip. If you go out and you try to buy computer monitors, they charge you a freaking fortune for them. I actually have, these are two Samsung TVs, LED TVs, that I use as monitors because they're so much cheaper. As a reminder, if you do have any questions, make sure you tag @CreatorFundamentals in the chat so I don't miss them. And some of you may have noticed the little Creator Crew logos next to some of the people in chat. That is the memberships here on Creator Fundamentals. If you appreciate what we do here on Creator Fundamentals and you want to join the Creator Crew, you can definitely click that join button next to the subscribe button. Help support the channel, helps us do all the cool things that we're trying to do in terms of getting that information out to you and helping us grow together. Hey, Harley, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. You got about 10 more minutes, so you got here early enough. But yeah, I've really found that doing live streams from 8 to 9 instead of starting at 9 helps me to be a little higher energy and not just completely burn out. Because I'd get up at 6 o'clock, go to work, come home, do everything that goes with after work, eat dinner, bring the kids wherever they had to be, and then I would settle down at 9 o'clock and do live streams from like 9 to midnight, 9 to 1 o'clock. And I did that for quite a while, and eventually it kind of wore on me. So in terms of making sure, because it's just as important, you definitely don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to put yourself in a schedule that you just can't maintain. And you need to be aware of that. You need to recognize when it's happening, and you don't just want to ignore it until you get completely flustered and then quit. So it's important to understand, to understand how you're feeling while you're feeling that way, how productive you're being, how you look on camera, all these different things, and then make smart decisions on how you can continue to do what you enjoy doing without burning yourself out and potentially, walking away from growing here on YouTube. So always something that you want to be mindful of and make necessary adjustments when you feel that they're needed. And your audience will understand. We're all human, so it's important that you take care of that human and not just focus all the time on content. For the second time in this live stream, I think this is a bug, but the analytics page on this new YouTube Studio Live thing, it'll drop out right in the middle in terms of, it's hard to describe. There's like a graph that shows how many people are in the chat, and then suddenly a big chunk of the middle will just disappear. Construction cronies, I remember those days Dan used to stream for hours and hang in Discord after. I think it was when he had 6,000 to 8,000 subs. Yeah, we used to do the Discord, used to call it the live stream after party. We would go from here to Discord and just kind of chat for a little while. But that was the opportunity for me to get off camera and drink a beer and still have a conversation with people. But yeah, I think for the most part, this new format has worked out pretty well. Still has the same opportunity for people to come and ask questions if they have them, opportunity for us to interact with each other instead of just putting out videos and hoping people watch them. So, and now that I have, I don't know if you've noticed, but now that I have an editor, thank you, Brian, we're going to be putting out 2 videos a week plus a live stream every week. So definitely stay tuned and watch those videos when they come out. The next video, I think I'm pretty settled. We're probably going to go, when did I schedule that for? I think what I've been noticing now that school's in session is that my videos tend to pick up more on the weekends. So I might be changing to a schedule that releases videos on Saturday and Friday or Saturday and Monday. Let's see. Thank you so much, Construction Cronies. I appreciate it. Shadrach Plays, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Mama Bear's backpack out there as well. See if there's anybody I missed. I think I got everybody. Start a new job in January. It's harder to get on live streams these days. Oh, good to have you here. Haven't seen a pinned chat comment before. New. Yeah, it's actually... It's the opportunity to showcase your merch. I don't really do a lot of merch. So I was just kind of playing around with it with the People of Video sticker. Of course, I just noticed that that description doesn't really identify that as a sticker anywhere. It's kind of weird. Creator Fundamentals is showcasing their merchandise. I noticed that in another stream, and it's built into this the new live streaming interface, which I like, but there's a couple quirky things in there that are kind of oddball. We're getting close to the end here, so again, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat. Otherwise, we will wrap it up for this evening. I'll hang on for a little while longer, closing in on the 9 o'clock hour. G Status, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. All right. So I'm interested, everybody in the chat, you guys got things that are being canceled or closed in your area due to the coronavirus? You recently said dance party live streams were not a good thing. What about interview style live streams, mostly common niche viewers? So it's not that dance party live streams were a good thing. It's the live streams where the goal, the entire point of the live stream is to get YouTubers to subscribe to other YouTubers. Those are horrible, 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 horrible ideas. And I've come across them where they play loud music and they try to hype people up, and then they'll put up a bunch of different channels and try to get people to subscribe to them. And while that may serve to get the person doing the live stream a lot of super chats and grow their channel, it does horrible things for the people whose channels are being featured on the live stream. So you could do any type of live stream that you want, but if you're doing a live stream with the intent purpose of, which is essentially sub for sub, which getting a bunch of people to get on the live stream and then yelling at them until they subscribe to a channel, first of all, it's a violation of YouTube terms of service. You can't do that. You're trading attention for attention. Never a good thing. So you want to make sure that you're actually focused on content and not just trying to exploit other YouTube channels. Do you believe that a monetized video will do better in the algorithm than a video that is not? People say it's true. I have not found it to be true. So according to YouTube, there is no correlation between a monetized video and a non-monetized video. Here's what I'll say about that. If only monetized videos were promoted on YouTube, then there'd never be any monetized videos because channels wouldn't be able to grow to reach the YouTube Partner Program. So the idea that only monetized videos get promoted doesn't really make sense because there'd be no way to get monetized. And let's see. Any suggestions for dealing with motion blur in a video? After the fact, not so much. When you're recording the video, yeah, higher frame rate. If you're shooting at 60 frames per second, you're going to have much less blur than if you're shooting at 24 frames per second. But if you have already recorded a video and it's blurry, there's probably not a whole lot you're going to be able to do about that. Unless you can add B-roll or something over those particular parts to kind of, mix it out a little bit. But So construction cronies, do you think that question is how do you add motion blur or how do you take it away? And do you think After Effects is going to help you remove motion blur? Right, that was... how do you attract a gaming niche? Because I do gaming. You know, I've said this a bunch of times with regards to gaming. Make videos that help people figure out how to game and not just record yourself gaming. If you're making how-to videos and videos that people can search for, then you're much more likely to stand out in the crowd and help to grow your channel. Ad blur. I thought they were trying to fix it after the fact. Where was that? Who was that? And I've opened After Effects before, and then I immediately closed it because I had no idea what to do. So I've never actually used After Effects for any videos. Sorry, trying to get rid of motion blur, yeah. Knit too fast for your camera. Interesting. Yes, Dealaflow. So the 24 frames is kind of the bare minimum frame rate that you can use that eyes can adjust to. That's what they used on film, and that's why 24 frames is a thing. But if you're capturing higher frames, then you are going to have less blur with motion. Or you can ask Harley and Construction Cronies about shutter angle, because I have no idea what they're talking about. If you want slow motion, shoot 120. If you're live streaming, use 60. If you're recording a video, use 24 or 30. All right, so watching this interesting conversation on frame rate going on in the chat. Another reason to join Facebook and YouTube communities to learn from other creators. That is another great reason for coming and hanging out in the live streams because, you know, as much as I babble at the camera, you guys have the opportunity to talk with each other in the chat and learn all kinds of cool stuff. But it is 9 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you are new to the live stream, click the subscribe button and the bell so you'll be alerted to future live streams. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out. Always good to talk a little YouTube, and we'll see you guys next week. And keep an eye out for the next video coming out this weekend. I'll see you in the next live stream. Take care.